The bench is dwindling.
Gonna wait out the anthem.
Oh, I'm.
In 2013, nobody did more to sink the Washington Spirit to the bottom of the NWSL table than the Western New York Flash. 4 meetings and 10 points for Aaron Lyons' club last year, a trend that carried over to the 2014 season opener, when 2 goals and an assist from Vicky Lasada earned the Flash a 3-1 win and Vicky league honors as Player of the Week. Tonight, the Spirit looked to buck the trend and get their 3-game homestand off to a good start. Live from Maureen Hendricks Field on the Maryland SoccerPlex, this is Saturday in the National Women's Soccer League. I'm Michael Minnick alongside Danielle Malagari, and Danielle, it's the boogeyman or boogie woman for the Spirit. Western New York has really been a thorn in their side.
Oh, yes, absolutely, including, obviously, their first matchup this season here at the Maryland SoccerPlex. So let's hope the Spirit can come out with a little bit more energy than they did in the first outing against the Western New York Flash.
Let's go through the lineups for you, and interesting one just because of who's not in it. Ashlyn Harris gets the nod in goal. Back 4 of Bianca Sierra. Allie Krieger will play in the middle tonight, we expect, alongside Tori Huster, with Robin Gale also on the outside. Yael Averbush back in the lineup. She'll play the holding mid spot alongside Christine Nairn. Then Veronica Perez, Lori Lindsay, Crystal Dunn in the attacking midfield spots. Jody Taylor up front. No Diana Matheson tonight.
Right. Well, obviously they've had to do a little bit of shuffling with the injury to Toni Presley. But I am surprised not to see Diana Matheson. She's had a good first couple of games here. I am surprised not to see her in the starting lineup today.
Captains Abby Wambach and Allie Krieger meeting in midfield. The lineup for Wambach, Aaron Lyons, and the Flash goes like this. Kelsey Weiss gets the nod in goal. Of course, Lydia Williams still with Australia in the Asian Cup. Catherine Reynolds, Brittany Taylor, Kat Williamson, and Kristen Edmonds across the back. In the midfield is Angela Salem with Carly Wood back after a 2-game suspension. Vicky Lasada, and then up front, Sonia Bermudez, Abby Wambach, and Adriana. So Wambach coming off a 2-goal performance, back in form. And if there's something that's maybe more scary than Abby Wambach, it's an in-form Abby Wambach.
Yes, it absolutely is. But, you know, she's such a great component to this Western New York team. She's so reliable for them, and she always finishes. She's just fantastic for this Western New York Flash program.
Spirit enter with a 2-4-0 record. Western New York 3-1-1, despite not having Carly Wood and Abby Wambach on the field at the same time until tonight.
Yeah, let's see the fireworks between the two of them tonight.
Spirit in the home Reds will attack the scoreboard in here in the first half. Western New York in the road Whites will go from left to right. Katya Koroleva has the middle tonight. Marlene Duffy and Paul Chiramataro are the referee's assistants. Jordan Gray is the 4th official. So once again, it's Harris, Sierra, Gale, Huster, Krieger, Averbush, Nairn, Perez, Lindsay, Dunn, and Taylor for Washington. Weiss, Reynolds, Taylor, Williamson, Edmonds, Salem, Lloyd, Lasada, Bermudez, Wambach, and Adriana for Western New York. It's like the Spirit will kick off. Jody Taylor will get the first touch on her birthday.
And let's hope she scores her first goal on her birthday.
Be quite a present. Maureen Lindsay joining her in the center circle.
I'm glad to see Laura Lindsay back in the lineup here for the Washington Spirit. Every game she started, they have won.
We are underway here at the Maryland SoccerPlex. Michael Minnick alongside Danielle Malgary. Spirit looking for their second home win of the season as Lindsay possesses. Goes back to Sierra. Up the line now for Lindsay. Chip forward, looking for the run of Jody Taylor coming diagonally. And over to clean up is Kat Williamson. So Krieger in the middle, how does that kind of change the look of the Spirit team?
I mean, obviously, Allie Krieger is just so great as an attacking outside back. But, you know, she can play anywhere. We've talked about this in the past. She can really play anywhere. And it'll be, let's see the type of matchup that it's going to be between Abby Wambach and Allie Krieger in the middle of the field.
Goal kick now for Kelsey Weiss and Western New York as we're 45 seconds in here at the Plex. Veronica Perez is another player that's played all over. Started in that defensive mid spot that Avery Bush is back in tonight. Now she's playing more of a traditional spot for her on that outside left wing.
Yeah, Mark Persons considers her a little bit of a utility player. He can kind of move her around a bit, and I think we expect the same thing from her game in and game out.
Taylor goes up the line, not on the same page with the Spanish duo of Vicky and Adriana. It goes out for a Spirit throw. Taylor bringing it down with the thigh. Good control here under pressure. Will now drop back for Lindsay. Square for Avery Bush, who switches right. Sierra has to come back for it. Bianca Sierra back in the lineup for the first time since the 1-0 win at Chicago. And as you mentioned, Danielle, that's because Tony Presley out for, if not all the year, most of it with the PCL injury that she suffered against FC Kansas City, which really wasn't diagnosed to the early part of this week.
Right. It's definitely a loss having Tony Presley not, you know, in the starting lineup for the rest of the season or maybe back at the end. But Bianca Sierra did a great job in preseason, and I thought she really proved herself. So I think this is a well-deserved start for her.
Avery Bush's pass goes out for a throw-in. And really for the Spirit right now, it's kind of about weathering the storm. You know, Nikki Cross is coming next month. The Spirit have talked about maybe bringing in another player or two once the European season ends. So you kind of have to rely on what you have for the next couple of weeks.
And they have good players. They can compete. They have stayed in games. They have 2 wins.
Krieger up the line now for the speedy Crystal Dunn. Nice pass inside. Gets the 1-2 back from Lindsay. Broken up now by Western New York, and it'll come, and the flag is up on Jody Taylor. Bad luck there as she'd beaten Brittany Taylor there in the middle, but
she was just slightly offsides when that ball was served. She popped back on, but the referee eventually called it when she made a touch.
One of those plays where she didn't expect the ball to come to her, so she was kind of checking her run, expecting maybe the next pass or two to come her way, but not that one.
Right, and she was recovering from putting the pressure on Weiss.
Angela Salem wins the ball. Way off by Wambach, broken up by Avery Bush. We mentioned the absence of Mathis and McCalls-Boney not starting for Western New York, another staple for them.
Which I'm incredibly shocked about because she has, like you said, she's a staple for Western New York. She has been so strong for them in the midfield.
Ball stolen away there as Nairn keeps it alive in the box, takes a shot but right at Kelsey Weiss.
That's definitely a tough angle for Nairn to take a shot at, but they really did have no movement inside the 18-yard box.
Catherine Reynolds thought that ball went out of bounds and really stopped, and that allowed Nairn to walk into the box.
Right.
Avery Bush had a free header there and chose to bring it down with her foot and turned it over. Here's Vicky, who had 2 goals and an assist in that 3-1 win by Western New York on the season opener. Now Lloyd touching it inside, won by Huster. Not a lot of spacing here from the Spirit as they try and work out of trouble. Now Huster will play it square and give it away almost to Wambach. Krieger has to come over and just hit it wide for Gale, and it's still not out of danger. Huster will finally hit it across midfield. Taylor takes a bump there and draws the foul on Brittany Taylor.
Jody Taylor does such a good job at battling for the balls. A lot of times when you find that lone striker up high, they're battling 1 versus 4, but she does a great job at moving side to side and contesting for every ball played forward.
Gale will drop it back for Huster. Goes square now for Krieger. I was interested also to see, with Krieger inside, who was going to play right back, and it is Bianca Sierra. Gale stays on the left where she's been all year.
Right.
Now Lindsay with space, turning it up the right side, looking for the run of Dunn. Coming back forward is Kristen Edmonds, and she will shepherd it out towards the sideline. Dunn keeps it in play, gets the cross off, but Weiss makes the catch on 1 bounce.
going back to the back four, I expect to maybe see Crystal Dunn get rotated in and out of that position as well for some of the season.
Yeah, the depth for this Spirit team is certainly in that midfield area where maybe you can afford to let Crystal Dunn maybe play 30 minutes back there at the end of a game, like she has in the past this year.
Like she did last week against Canada.
Yeah, that game, the 9th cap for Crystal Dunn, her first in 2014, of course, coming back off that injury that she suffered in the collegiate season last year. Jody Taylor back for Sierra, who sets up the right foot, chooses instead to go inside. Under pressure now from Adriana, goes up the line, deflected on the way through, and Weiss will come off her line. Make sure that doesn't go out for a corner.
The movement of the ball right now for the Spirit is just a tad bit stagnant. They're still kind of getting into the groove of this game. Let's hope to see that pick up as the game continues.
Here's Vicky. Adriana. Looking to switch left for her fellow Spaniard Bermudez, but Sierra wins the header towards the sideline, and Bermudez will watch it roll up for a throw-in. Bermudez making her 3rd start for the Flash. She has a goal. Came over from Spain, where she scored 28 goals this season to lead the league. Scored 2 in the league final. Wallenbach posting up on Krieger, lays it off. Chance now as the ball goes towards the far post towards Adriana. Header won by Gale. Now volley cleared by Nairn up the sideline. Perez can't win that ball. Instead, it's touched forward by Catherine Reynolds in the box. It's given away by Krieger. Hard shot from Adriana. Right at Krieger, who makes the save. Now it's cleared off the post. Now a chance from Wallenbach. Now it's still loose, and finally Ashlyn Harris clears. Western New York wants a back pass there, and I think they have a case.
I must have missed that. I definitely didn't think that was a back pass. I say in my youth game, that's a little bit of a hot potato. Not really knowing where that thing's going to go. Everyone's kind of tossing it around.
I think Don wanted to cross that ball, and it kind of got away from her, and it's an easy catch. But Western New York really should have scored there.
Yes,
2 or 3 really good looks. Salem for Wallenbach. Salem will go left. Here's Edmonds. Back for Carly Lloyd. Bermudez touching it through. And the whistle goes as advantage does not materialize. A free kick for Western New York, and Bermudez in a good bit of pain there on that far side. She'll be helped to her feet. Looks like she's going to continue. The trainer had stepped out to the sideline, and the 4th official made sure that she was okay before telling her to stay put. Here's that chance again for Western New York. Hard shot from Bermudez, saved by Harris. Comes off the post, off the clearance from Krieger. I'm not really sure what Krieger was trying to do there, Danielle.
I'm not sure either. Western New York tried to make a case for the back pass. I honestly think Lori Lindsay was just trying to clear it, and they got nothing on it.
Free kick driven in towards the top of the 18, towards, of course, Abby Wallenbach. Popped up by a couple of Spirit heads. Collision there. It'll fall for Bermudez, who goes back for Edmonds. Nice turn inside on Dunn. Gets the low cross off. Avery Bush plays it for Dunn. Just a giveaway there in the middle to Carly Lloyd. Switch right now. Catherine Reynolds up the line. Tried to play the give and go there with Adriana, but it goes out for a Spirit throw here in the 9th minute. Father and Adriana.
Seeing how the first 9 minutes of this game has gone, I'm predicting a very physical game.
Well, they say that familiarity breeds contempt. 6 meeting between these two teams since the beginning of last year. 2nd time around for these two teams this year. Here's Robin Gale. Gets the left-footed cross in towards the penalty spot, but nobody home in red. Easily header win for Salem, but Wood gives it away to Lori Lindsay, who chips it forward looking for Perez, and just enough contact in that ball that it didn't get cleanly through. Goes off the back of Perez, but the Spirit will keep possession as Lindsay will switch it right.
I don't think Perez was even expecting to see that come through. She was a little off balance there to receive that ball.
Don turning inside, beats one, trying to beat Salem, but the touch too heavy. Carly Lloyd in a good position to win that ball. We saw Lloyd play a little bit deeper in the first meeting between these two. It looks like that's what she's going to do again today. Throw here on the far side for Kristen Edmonds and the Western New York Flash. Edmonds is someone who has stepped in the last couple of games and played well for the Flash. As Wambach battles Krieger, lays it off now for Lloyd, surging forward, trying to beat Christine Nairn. Slides it right for Adriana. Early crossover from Adriana. Punch there by Harris. Kept alive now. Here's Bermudez with the chance. Sonia's left-footed volley goes high and wide.
And that save right there, that has shown why Ashlyn Harris has been called into national team camp. She has just come up so big for this Spirit team in the first couple of games, and I think she's really, really reaching her peak.
Yeah, and I think two signs really you can point to that. One is the fact that she got called into the national team.
Right.
The second one is that Chantal Jones can't get in this team. She
right.
hasn't played a single minute.
Yeah.
Maybe the best backup goalkeeper in this league.
Yes, I happen to agree with that. But, I mean, why make any changes? Ashlyn Harris is hot.
Lloyd touching it forward, looking for Wambach. It's won instead by Krieger. Now Averbush. Now Lindsay. Chip over the top, looking for Jody Taylor. The flag is down. Taylor with the chip shot, and on her birthday, Jody Taylor has scored her first Spirit goal in the 11th minute.
And that was a fantastic play by, who was the one that even played that ball in there?
I believe it was Lindsay.
Yes, you're right. Lori Lindsay did chip that ball right over top. Western New York, you saw Williamson raise her hand thinking that Jody Taylor was offside. Jody Taylor ran straight by her, flicked it right over Weiss. That was fantastic.
Lindsay is given the assist, so making an impact. Back in the lineup, and the Spirit have now scored 5 of their 8 goals with her on the field, and she's only played 141 minutes so far. And counting, now up to about 152.
Yes. And I've been saying this all season. I'm such a fan of Lori Lindsay. She really demands possession-style ball, and they have done that so far.
Now, how did the Spirit respond? They've allowed a lot of goals after scoring this year.
Right. The energy still has to stay high. You always say big five after you score a goal.
Vicky's chip block. Now Houston will bring it down, and Dan Lillette on the equalizer had a good stat on this. Spirit have allowed 3 goals within 4 minutes of scoring either the equalizer or a go-ahead goal in a game, and it would have been 4 except for that penalty that Ashlyn Harris saved against Lauren Holiday against Kansas City.
They have to be strong here.
Here's the chance again, and just a good finish. Taylor, with the composure to know the goalkeeper's coming, doesn't have to be hard, just put it in the right spot.
Right. And when I found out that the Spirit acquired the rights to Jody Taylor, I instantly went to YouTube and looked up her highlights, and those were the types of goals that we should see from her this year. She's just a natural finisher.
Coming off a great year in Australia, scored 12 goals in 12 games with Sydney FC. Entering this year, if you combine her college, her semi-pro, her pro, 68 goals in 87 matches. So you knew this was coming at some point. She's done good things, just hasn't finished them.
Yeah, and that's something that I've talked about in previous games is that they have to utilize Jody Taylor a little bit more. Playing these longer balls just isn't her type of game.
Just her 5th shot and her 3rd shot on goal, and she's been the centerpiece of this attack.
Exactly.
Now Lloyd searching for it in the box, cutting it back on Krieger and hitting it off the crossbar. Second chance now for Adriana, and a good tackle there from Gale to knock it out. There it was almost again as the Spirit nearly concede.
And this is something, set pieces have been an issue for the Spirit. They, actually, at the beginning of the year, I would say set pieces. They've done well recently with set pieces. This is something they have to come strong.
Scored off a free kick in the first meeting as Brittany Taylor finished on the far post from a Vicky serve. Corner this time will be taken left-footed from this near corner. Good bending ball. Goalkeeper stays put. Header won by Veronica Perez, the former Flash player. Taken away there by Sierra. Now it's Averbush in the center of the park. Switches it left. Nice ball to pick out Christine Nairn, who's popped up a lot on the left early so far. Has time and space to pick a ball. Back now for Lindsay, outside of the football, and Robin Gale will try and keep it alive and does so. Gale on the inline gets the cross in, knocked down there by Catherine Reynolds, and slid out by Taylor for a throw-in. Quick throw. Gale done turning inside. Gale's left-footed cross deflected on the way through, but Weiss will keep it in play and scoop in the 15th minute.
You saw when the ball got switched, when it switched to point of attack through Averbush over to Nairn. Nairn wanted to kind of send that longer ball, but they had no option, so they just continued to keep possession. That's what we need to see out of the Spirit squad today.
I think Lindsay's been very impactful in her first 15 minutes today.
Absolutely.
Linking Avery-Bush, linking Nairn, and then making the pass, obviously, to Jody Taylor for the goal.
You know, she's not going to run at people. She's going to knock the ball 1 and 2 touch and try to just keep a good possession style play for the Spirit.
This time the flag is up on Jody Taylor. I'm sure the flashback light is saying, well, a little bit too late there. But watching the highlight, I definitely thought she was onside.
Yeah, she was nowhere near being offsides.
Kelsey Weiss taking the goal kick. As mentioned earlier, that Lydia Williams is on national team duty with Australia for the Asian Cup. As the ball comes right for Sonia. We'll finish that thought after this play. Sonia on her left foot sliding in is Dunn, who has switched sides. Wins the ball back. Avery-Bush for Lindsay. Gale. But finishing that thought, Asian Cup also serving as the qualifiers for the Women's World Cup, and China and South Korea have already booked their tickets, so I believe that's the first World Cup for South Korea.
Wow.
So good to see them going to Canada next year. Of course, we saw a little bit of them in friendlies last year against the U.S., and I thought they held up pretty well. Jody Taylor laying it off now into the path of Dunn, but a good job there by the body of Brittany Taylor to allow Kat Williamson to win that ball, but now a slip and a giveaway. Nairn will slide it through, but again, good positioning from Kat Williamson, the former Portland Thorn, and she'll dump it off left to Kristen Edmonds. Direct ball now into the path of Abby Wambach in a foot race with Krieger. Krieger gets there first, plays it back, and Harris will just hit it clear. Takes a little bit of contact there from Wambach, but no harm, no foul, and a deep throw for Western New York in the 17th minute.
Harris held on to Wambach a little bit there to keep her ground as she was falling.
Deep throw for the Flash. They go short. Laid back now. Chance for Sonia to cross, and she does it towards Wambach, and a falling Tori Huster gets enough of the ball that Krieger picks up the second ball, and Sierra went out clear.
So far, the officials have just allowed both teams to play. It's been a little bit physical here in the first 17 minutes, but I don't think anything dirty. I think the teams are just wanting to win and are working hard to battle for that ball. Spirit
lead on Jody Taylor's goal in the 11th minute off the assist from Lori Lindsay, but Wambach trying to change that, and she does so. A sprawling header. Ashlyn Harris, I thought, might get a piece of that when she dove for it, but I think she was a little off balance. What a cross in, and Wambach does what she does so well.
Yeah, and this is what we talked about at the beginning of the game. Abby is always reliable. She's so reliable for this team, and she's also, you know, she scores a lot of goals, but she's always also the biggest cheerleader for this team as well. That was a great finish by her. We expect nothing less from Abby Wambach.
So 7 minutes after the Spirit score, they concede.
That's certainly going to be a hard target for Huster to take care of today.
Vicky gets the assist. That's now 2 goals and 2 assists for Vicky just against the Spirit this year. Her 3rd assist of the year.
She definitely has the Spirit's number.
Perez playing the direct ball, and Taylor was open, but the ball was disappointing. Won by Western New York.
Slight miss hit there by Perez.
Sonia hitting it left-footed forward, but an easy turnover to Krieger. Back for Harris. Huster up the left side, looking for Crystal Dunn, who, as we mentioned, has switched sides, but it's won instead by Catherine Reynolds, knocked out for a Spirit throw in the 19th minute. I think we've seen more early goals per capita than any other team.
I happen to agree.
Seems like every game by the 20th minute, it's 1-0
yes.
or 1-1 or 2-0 even. Early cross from Bianca Sierra towards Perez, and the flag is up. Taylor thought she had her second, but the flag was up well before she finished it.
I'm wondering who that flag was up. It must have been Taylor. She must have come from offsides to try to finish that.
Weiss will take the free kick forward. Header won by Avery-Bush, and I think that's going to be a big key for the Spirit is Averbush against Wambach and those 50-50 balls at midfield, because Averbush uses her size well when she is forward like that.
Right. She certainly does have the size. And as that holding center midfielder, she needs to kind of demand that space, you know, in the aerial battle.
Salem. Good work to avoid Jody Taylor, but a giveaway now to Crystal Dunn, who came back to win the ball from Lloyd, dodges one tackle, takes a bump, still Dunn on the ball. Touch was a little heavy. Knuckles towards the near side. Catherine Reynolds wins the header. Now Lindsay wins it for Nairn. Nairn looking for space to shoot. Goes left for Lori Lindsay. Back now for Gale, who had to come back a little bit for that one. Right-footed ball. Good one towards the far side. Headed back towards Weiss. I don't think she really appreciated that ball. And again, a good job there by Williamson with her body positioning to not allow Veronica Perez to run onto that one.
Yes, that absolutely was good positioning by her. Unfortunately for Crystal Dunn in that run she made forward, she did a great job to stay on her feet. There's only so much you can do 1 versus 4.
She tried her best, though.
Yeah, she did.
Here's Lloyd. Again, back from that 2-game suspension. Playing it through, looking for Wambach, but Huster tracks her and goes back for Harris, who will clear it forward. Lindsay chests it down for Averbush. Back again for Lindsay. And a giveaway now to Abby Wambach. Lays it off now. Vicky playing it through, but it's blocked by Yael Averbush. Now it's Lindsay. Those giveaways have to stop.
Yes,
the Spirit have done that all year in bad spots.
Yes, absolutely. And I believe that's how one of the goals were scored last week against for FCKC against the Spirit. Giveaway in the back line.
Adriana. Lloyd trying to shake Averbush, but it squirts out to Krieger, who goes left for Robin Gale. Taylor doing the hard work again on the left side, trying to touch it inside Brittany Taylor, but good shield there from the Western New York center back, and she'll win a throw for her team in the 22nd minute. Huster wins the header for Averbush. Wood loses her footing, but will continue to play. Nairn now for Lindsay. Krieger now. She'll attack up the middle. Outside of the football for Bianca Sierra. And just a little too much on that one. Good idea.
Yeah, right idea there. Unfortunate.
That was something I was interested to see with Krieger in the middle was, could she still join the attack? Did a nice job there of starting something or trying to start something.
Right, yeah. She can certainly be a playmaker out of the center back position. She has all the ability to do so, and she sees the field so well.
Vicky can't keep that one in play. A throw for the Spirit. Just a beautiful right-footed ball chipped in, and Wambach lost Tori Huster and could not have finished that one any better to the corner. Wambach had 3 assists against the Spirit last year, but didn't score. And really, Tori Huster did a great job on her last year.
Yeah, she did. I remember in their first meeting, we were like, okay, who's going to take that role? Tori Huster does a great job, but that was just a great finish and a great cross.
Perez off a good combination here from the Spirit as Nairn goes left, looking for Robin Gale. Gale keeps it in play in the corner, but gets the cross off too. Weiss makes the catch. I didn't think Gale was going to be able to get that one off with, you know, a good hustle back there from Adriana, the forward coming all the way back to defend.
I really like the energy that we're seeing from Robin Gale today. In previous games, we really haven't seen her attack out of the back, and she's gotten up a couple of times here in the first half.
Certainly the heat played a factor last week against Kansas City, but that game just seemed like it was a little bit slow, a little bit lethargic from both teams.
Right, yeah, it certainly was.
Today it's mid-60s, sunny, a perfect day to play.
Great facility, great crowd.
Wambach goes left. Early cross from Bermudez towards Wambach, who rises for the hair at the top of the box, and it one hops to Ashlyn Harris. Female can score on a header from the 18 yards out. It's Abby Wambach, but not that time.
I was actually thinking the same thing. That would be incredibly hard to score from the top of the 18.
She's done it before, just not this time. I was watching Western New York warm up, and they were doing some heading drills. And Wambach was a couple steps behind, the rest of her line,
Uh-huh.
almost like that was the advanced level ahead.
Right.
And of course, Abby Wambach would probably be the person that would be at that level. Here's Edmonds, shipping it forward. Huster wins down, but right into the path of Sonia. Coming back to win it, though, is Sierra, and she'll knock it out for a throw-in in the 25th minute.
I think the makeshift back line today for the Spirit has done a pretty good job in the first 25 minutes.
Forward now for Lindsay. Again, the goal is Brittany Taylor losing Jody Taylor, and she gets her first goal of the year in the 11th minute off the pass from Lindsay. And then Abby Wambach turning the favor off the good cross from Vicky in the 18th minute. Dunn gives away as it's won by Reynolds, but turned over by Salem as Dunn got a piece of it. Catherine Reynolds will try again. Taylor. Jody Taylor on her footsteps, but Brittany Taylor doing enough to knock it back to Weiss. Here's Kat Williams.
I would love to see a pedometer on Jody Taylor to see how much she actually runs during a game. She's one of the most active forwards I think I've ever seen.
Switch coming left for the overlapping Kristen Edmonds. Runs out of space there on that sideline. Sierra was there to mark her. Yeah, and Taylor has played 436 of the 540 minutes, so she sat a little bit, but that's a lot of minutes for someone that works that hard.
Yes, it really is.
Dunn turning inside, playing it through, and the flag is up once again on Jody Taylor. A little bit of applause for herself from Kat Williamson there for pulling her off. Williamson missed the first meeting between these two teams because she was sent off in the NWSL final last year, but she's settled in nicely against next to Brittany Taylor, and they've made a solid partnership this year. Left it comes. Here's Sonia again. Wambach working at the far post. Cross comes in towards Carly Lloyd this time, and it's caught by Ashlyn Harris. Harris will take her 6 seconds, and I'm sure Abby Wambach might be counting down there like she did for Erin McCloud in the Olympics a couple years ago.
I'm sure she is.
Lindsay with a nice touch back to Gale. Huster showing for her. A footed ball from Huster forward, and pretty easy pick there for Brittany Taylor, who gets it back from Reynolds and now goes in the middle of the park for Salem. Now Kat Williamson with some space. She'll switch it left for Edmonds. Going to work against Bianca Sierra. Evans with a step over move, trying to get the left-footed cross-up. It's a good one towards the far post, towards Adriana, but it skips by her and Robin Gale towards the corner. Kept alive and played up the line for Perez. Now inside, Averbush will clear forward.
Robin
Lindsay.
Gale and Huster had both the players covered inside the 18.
A whistle there and a call against the Spirit. Mark Parsons is on the field protesting this call, but to no avail. A free kick for Western New York. I'm not really sure what happened there. Didn't see a lot of contact.
I did not.
This is where Western New York is dangerous, though. Set pieces. Not only Wambach, but Carly Lloyd, I think, is underrated with her ability in the air. Tangle there as it comes towards the far post is popped up by Lloyd. Wambach was the player that was knocked down at the top of the box. I believe she and Krieger tangled up, and that's one way to keep Abby Wambach from scoring, just knock her down.
I believe their feet just got tangled because they were both making the same exact run there.
Yeah, it certainly wasn't intentional,
No,
but it was effective.
Yeah, why not?
And that really threw off the runs because you had Lloyd pretty much making that move by herself without Wambach coming in.
There was nobody there for a second chance.
Carly Lloyd playing it through, looking for Abby Wambach, but it's picked off by Krieger. Averbush now comes back. And I would think Krieger's familiarity with Wambach would also help her in that center back pairing.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Sure, that's been a match at many a time in national team camp. Taylor coming back, laying it off into space for Averbush. Through ball now for Crystal Dunn, and she's onside, but Williamson a step quicker, plays it back, and Weiss will knock it clear. Lloyd, heavy touch, Well, it's Huster back in the play, but she can't clear it definitively. Lloyd bursting through, now in the box. Gets the shot off and it puts it in the corner. Carly Lloyd, maybe not how you draw it up, but all that matters is it's in the back of the net. In the 30th minute, Western New York has come from a goal down to take a 2-1 lead.
That was just a huge hustle play by Carly Lloyd in that situation. She ran through Tori Huster. She ran through Allie Krieger. She wanted that goal. It was very well deserved.
Carly Lloyd has scored 4 goals against the Washington Spirit in their history. Had a hat trick against them last year. Her first of this year, though.
That like I said, that was just a great hustle play by Carly Lloyd.
I thought Robin Gale was going to be able to step in, but
just a step behind.
Carly Lloyd had to take the shot right when she did, and she buried it.
Yeah, and it was a great finish for our post. Ashton Harris could have done nothing about it.
Goal unassisted, so how about this? The Flash have 6 assists this year. They're all from internationals, 5 from their Spaniards, 1 from Sam Kerr.
Their international choices this year are great, I would say.
Ball comes wide. Edmonds trying to shake Krieger, who's more in a familiar position on that right back spot. Try to play it off of Edmonds and up the line for Dunn. And that's the difference between the haves and the have-nots in this league in terms of success. You know, when you sign a Vicky as a free agent, or a Sam Kerr as a free agent, or a Sonia as a free agent, that just raises the level of your internationals.
Yes, it really does. They have obviously made a huge difference for the Western New York team. Something the Spirit need to focus on here. Don't panic. Yes, you're down 2-1, but just don't panic right now. Just keep playing a good possession style of game that you have been playing.
Another giveaway to Wambach, but she's not on the same page with Adriana this time, and it goes out for a Spirit throw-in. Throw up the line, intended for Perez. Jumping in to win it is Catherine Reynolds, and another throw for the Spirit in the 32nd minute. Yeah, 58 minutes is an eternity to chase a 1-goal deficit.
Yes, it is.
Perez now chipping it forward. Up the line for Jody Taylor. Trying to cut it back, and a good job there defending for Brittany Taylor, who shields her off and finally draws the foul. I think this has been Jody Taylor's best match in a Spirit jersey, but Brittany Taylor playing well again for Western New York.
Yes, Jody Taylor has had a good game, but it's also because the Spirit are playing a more possession-based game, and they are trying to find her a little bit more to her feet. A couple balls have gone in behind, and she's just battled to try to win those as well.
Averbush now with space and time. Plays it behind Crystal Dunn, who gets tangled up with Edmonds, and you almost have to call that, even though it was inadvertent, the free kick for Western New York.
It was absolutely unintentional, but it's the way it happens sometimes.
You see Averbush just pick her head up and go there. She had a lot of space, attack somebody.
Yeah. Holding center midfielders don't really love attacking people.
Right.
They like to play 1 and 2 touch and get the ball off their feet.
But I think when you've got Lori Lindsay playing in front of you, she's definitely going to tuck in behind if you make a run.
Yes, she will.
Free kick towards Wambach, headed by Averbush. Touch now won by Vicky. It's Wambach now, laying it off. Sonia. Lloyd. Cutting back on her left foot, trying to shake Averbush. Cuts back inside. Lloyd beats another tackle, and Averbush slides it away finally.
She did whatever she could to try to clear that ball.
Adriana playing it over Wambach. Header won by Sierra, who heads it again up the field. Christine Nairn. Now for Dunn. Looking for a run. Has Taylor short, has Perez wide, and Perez clearly was offside when that ball was hit, and the flag comes up.
That's about the 6th offside, I believe, this half for the Spirit. And how many of the Western New York have? None? None. Yeah. Got to clean it up a little bit when it comes to going forward.
Well, and I look up the field, and if I'm in midfield, I'm thinking, I've got 2 options, or I have to go back.
Right.
Not really a lot of red jerseys pushing forward. And that's a credit to Western New York and the job they've done attacking, that you don't want to take a risk. Edmonds overlapping. She'll get the ball on that left side. Drops it back now. Early ball played in by Sonia towards the 18. Header won by Averbush. Now Lindsay. Dispossessed by Carly Lloyd. Touching it inside for Wambach. Now the triangle comes for Vicky. Space for Edmonds on the left foot. Wambach chests it down, turns, slides it past Huster, and dispossesses Lloyd, and she goes down. Looks like she might have been poked in the eye or the facial area, and the referee will stop play.
Didn't she break her nose earlier in the year? Was it Carly Lloyd who broke her nose earlier in the year?
Yes, I believe it was.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if that was this year, but I
Maybe.
remember her wearing that mask.
Yeah,
yes.
that's what I'm remembering, a mask.
Trainer will be waved onto the field, and a respite for both. Looks like Lloyd's okay, but the referee's going to make her leave the field since the trainer was waved on. Spirit substitutes are getting loose, and I'm sure they'll continue that process at the half. But the immediate concerns for Carly Lloyd, but I think she'll be good to continue, even though Barsik's warming up to the left of us.
Carly Lloyd, you know, a couple minutes before her goal, really stepped up. I think she's kind of been a little bit of a game changer here for the Western New York Flash. First 10 minutes, she was kind of quiet, I thought.
And it takes a little bit of time to integrate into a team, even when you're familiar with after you've sat out really 3 games.
Right.
You have the 2 with the suspension and also the 1 with the national team, which didn't count against the suspension since she wasn't with the team.
Right.
So she's only played twice, now 3 times for her team, but really making an impact today. Turnover now to Crystal Dunn. Broken up by Vicky. Kept alive on that sideline, and now it does go out for a Spirit throw. I think the Spirit, when they've gotten forward, have looked good. There just haven't been many chances.
Right. Well, in that moment right there, Crystal Dunn was running forward, and she picked her head up, and she saw absolutely no movement from the Spirit. Somebody has to do a better job at getting up and joining her. If not, turn around, just keep possession, knock the ball, stretch Western New York Flash out a little bit, keep the ball rolling.
And that's where you miss Matheson, because she makes that run.
Right.
On the bench today, Diana Matheson would be certainly an option, and I'm almost certain we'll see her in the second half.
Oh, I'm sure we will.
It's just a question of when. Taylor now. Cross towards Perez off the mark, and an easy pick for Weiss. Should also mention that the goal that Jody Taylor scored, that's the first the Spirit have scored for themselves in the run of play against Western New York.
Oh, wow.
They got a penalty kick last year, that late tie that Jasmine Spencer, who's on the Flash bench today, drew for Matheson.
Right.
And then the own goal in the first meeting between these two that Christine Nairn served in on the corner kick that Barzik redirected.
I almost forgot about that goal. That was a bizarre bounce into the back of the net in that first outing.
We thought it was the wind and you know, a little bit of mechanics there, but the photographers that were close to it said, yeah, it definitely touched Amy Barzik, and the league officially changed it to an own goal. So Christine Nairn got that one taken off of her resume. Speaking of league scoring decisions, Kelsey Weiss got an assist initially last week, and that would have been the first goalkeeper assist in NWSL history. Would not be Wambach's second goal, but after review, the league took that assist away and made an unassisted goal. So how about Abby? 3 goals now in a game and a half for Western New York.
But you'd expect nothing less from her.
Well, but I saw, you know, message boards are message boards, but there was talk, is Abby Wambach, you know, is she done? Does she fit in with this team? Yeah, she does.
Oh, absolutely. Even after the last World Cup and they lost, I remember sitting in my living room being like, come on, 4 more years. You got this. 4 more years. We need you. She's not going to be done, I think, until she wins a World Cup.
And she'll do it, we assume, for Joe Ellis, who was named as the national team head coach yesterday.
Yeah, that must be incredibly exciting for her.
Held the job on an interim basis twice and really took her name out of the running when Tom Sermani was hired, and now has decided, yes, this is the time I'm willing to take on the job. And I think the other thing that came out of that was certainly of interest to me yesterday at that press conference was World Cup qualifying moved from Mexico to the U.S. to the East Coast.
Oh, wow.
So we might see some qualifiers here in our backyard in D.C. in October.
I hope so.
Huster now. Perez turning upfield. Taylor wants it, but Perez will double back and play it through, looking for the run of Crystal Dunn. But again, really just 2 options there.
Right, yeah. Those long balls aren't going to work. Weiss is just going to sniff them out at the top of the 18 every single time.
It feels like the Spirit are kind of falling into a pattern right now with their attack. It's been becoming a little bit more predictable.
And that's what I said after the second goal was scored. Don't panic. There's still plenty of game left. You're only 1 goal behind. Obviously, you scored one, so you can score another one. Just keep knocking the ball and possess it.
Here's Taylor. For Lloyd. Now Salem. Pressured by Christine Nairn. She'll go left. Edmonds. Marked by Crystal Dunn. Good tackle from Dunn. Now Nairn. Double back and look for options in the 40th minute. Trying to play the early ball for Jody Taylor, but easily won by Kat Williamson, who drops it back for Weiss. Once again, Brittany Taylor will start the charge for the Flash. Finds Adriana's feet this time. Comes back again for Brittany Taylor, who scored in the first meeting between these two teams. Lloyd. Playing the early ball, trying to work in Sonia on the left side, and too far. Gave her the thumbs up there, liked the idea, did Sonia, but...
The idea was great. Execution was not. A little bit more towards the corner flag, I think that ball would have stayed.
We talked about this when we were watching the first meeting between these two in the game that Vicky Lasada had. How is Spain not a bigger power than they already are?
I know.
Mean, I've been so impressed with Adriana through 2 years in the league. Now Lasada comes over, Sonia comes over, and they've both been impressive to me so far today.
Yes, they have been. They've made such an impact on this squad.
Certainly looks like they're going to qualify for the Women's World Cup this time around. Cut back move, and Krieger steps in to win the ball. Perez now laying it off for Lindsay. I think these two are a little bit not on the same page, but Lindsay does pick up the ball now. Gale. And a giveaway there, but Salem slips, and that allows Perez back into the play. Takes a bump from Salem. We'll continue to play as it comes back to Krieger.
That was an interesting play by Salem there.
And that ball off the mark as Sierra watches it roll over her foot and out for the throw-in. Certainly was a tackle from Angela Salem. She must have got a little bit of the ball.
Yeah, strange tactic. I've never seen that one before.
Katja Koroleva not blowing the whistle in that play. Sonia. Lloyd. Goes wide now for the right back, Catherine Reynolds. Plays the cross in towards the 6. Huster gets a foot in, knocks it out for a corner. Second of the match will come for Western New York. Here from the right side as we move into the 43rd minute. They're going to tee this one up, and it looks like it's going to be Sonia jogging over to take it. They'll go short. Laid off back by Adriana. Left-footed cross from Sonia towards the top of the 18. Headed back in the mixer by Wambach, and Sierra will get a clearance then, which was partially deflected by Williamson. Now Edmonds comes up the left side. Gale with the swatting challenge and goes off the corner flag and out of bounds for a Spirit throw.
Tori Huster did a really good job at staying with Wambach on that play. I certainly wouldn't. I don't think I'd be up for the task of that for 90 minutes.
Dunn turning nicely on the sideline, playing it forward for Jody Taylor, who chests it down, drops it in the middle for Lori Lindsay. She'll finish the switch left for Perez. Early ball for Taylor, easily picked off by Brittany Taylor. Lindsay wins it against Salem, plays it in the center of the park for Jody Taylor. Nairn making the hard run left. Taylor will play her. Nairn corralling it in the corner. Drops it for Veronica Perez. Back now for Robin Gale. Averbush. Good turn there from Averbush to find Nairn. Dunn. Scoop pass left for Averbush. Sets up her left foot. Plays a good cross towards the far post, but nobody's making a run there. Sierra will pick it up on the far side. Work towards the corner. And nice defending there from Western New York to win a goal kick.
I think that's the first time I've ever seen Averbush make that type of run out of the midfield. And it was quite creative because Dunn was just able to kind of lift the ball over the Western New York back line to find Averbush.
Good cross, too. Just nobody making that far post run. Wambach winning that battle with Averbush. Nice touch it through from Carly Lloyd, but Adriana can pick it up on the other side as Gale gets a sliding challenge in. Perez back for Huster. Krieger. Sierra back again for Allie Krieger. 30 seconds left in regulation. We'll see how much stoppage time we'll get. I'm going to guess about 2 minutes with 3 goals being put on the board. And the injury also to Carly Lloyd that stopped play. And Perez will draw a foul there. Also had a little bit of a shake-up for the Spirit earlier as well. Spirit will once again choose to play this one short. It's Lindsay for Krieger. Averbush back again for Krieger.
I think on set pieces, especially, I mean, maybe not corner kicks, but I certainly think the short game is a little bit better for the Spirit because they don't have huge targets going forward.
We're in stoppage time, but I never saw a sign of how much we're going to have, Danielle. So your guess is as good as mine. It's not that much.
None.
I'm amazed. 20, 30 seconds of stoppage time in a game that had 3 goals and an injury.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're at the half. Spirit took the early lead, Danielle, on the strike from Jody Taylor in the 11th minute. Assist from Lindsay. Wambach ties it, and then Lloyd puts them ahead. So get some halftime highlights for you momentarily, but what were your thoughts on this one so far, Danielle?
I definitely think until the second goal was in the back of the net for the Flash that the Spirit had a really good rhythm. And I said that, you know, as soon as that goal went in, just keep your rhythm. Don't panic and just keep knocking the ball and see if you can create anything. I think that's the mentality they need to have when they come out into the second half.
Spirit initially, I think, played well. They were really able to find Jody Taylor in dangerous positions. But then the attack kind of petered out. They were able to get some stuff wide, but a lot of through balls that weren't finding the target or were picked off by Flash players. Right.
They really haven't made Weiss have to make a play. Other than the goal, Weiss had no play on it because of the chip. But they really haven't put anything dangerous on goal. They need to start creating a few more chances if they want to get back into this game.
On the other side, I think you nailed it, Danielle. Carly Lloyd really changed this game with her play.
Oh, yes, she did. She picked it up about 10, 15 minutes into the half. Her goal was just a straight hustle play. She outran, she outmuscled 2 Spirit players. She definitely did change the game in the last 25 minutes there.
Western New York were really unlucky to hit the woodwork some early. Krieger and Harris really did a nice job defensively to break up a couple chances as well. And really they were forced not to concede first.
Right.
And then they were able to take the lead on this really nice chip from Jody Taylor. Lori Lindsay playing the ball over the top. And Lindsay got herself in a good position, I think, to kind of poke her head up and play that ball. Taylor and her on the same page. But then a shot that hit the crossbar again from Western New York as the Spirit, as has been their unfortunate habit this year for Mark Parsons, do concede pretty quickly. And they finally did here. A beautifully chipped in ball from Vicky. Her second assist against the Spirit. And Abby Wambach doing what she does.
Doing what she does best, absolutely.
Remind me a lot of their body position, the goal she scored against Brazil, that big win in the World Cup quarterfinals. And then Lloyd just persisted, beating a couple defenders, a couple deflections, just stayed with the play and put it in the corner.
And that's why you say in the younger ages, run through the ball with your body, use your body. And that's exactly what she did. She ran through 2 players and had a great finish far post. So the score at the break, the Western New York Flash lead the Washington Spirit 2-1. Danielle and I will be back with the second half in about 10 minutes. Stay with us.
Welcome back to the Maryland SoccerPlex, and Danielle Malagari looks like the Spirit are going to make a halftime change, as they've done a lot this year, really, just change things up. Diana Matheson is at the scorer's table.
I definitely think Diana Matheson will be an added spark that the Spirit need at this moment in the game, being down 1 goal with 45 minutes to go. I think she can bring them right back into this.
Speaking of right back, looks like that's where Crystal Dunn will move with Sierra coming off.
Wow, we predicted a couple of things. Jody Taylor goal. Maybe let's see Crystal Dunn at right back. So I think we're 2 for 2 right now.
Yeah, Jody Taylor making the most of her birthday scoring, but it's been Western New York that have blown out the candles since. Goal for Wambach, a goal for Lloyd, and they lead 2-1 as the second half gets underway. So we'll reset the lineups for you once things settle a bit as Taylor wins the ball for Nairn. Lindsay. First touch for Matheson will not come on that through ball as it's picked off by Edmonds and cleared by Williamson. Sonia. Pressure by Crystal Dunn. Up the line it comes. Lloyd trying the back heel. Keeps it in play against Averbush. And a bad challenge there from Averbush. Carly Lloyd in the flash will have a free kick. So for Washington now it's Harris, Dunn, Gale, Huster, and Krieger. Averbush, Nairn, Perez, Lindsay, Matheson, and Taylor. For Western New York, it's the same 11 that started. Weiss in goal, Reynolds, Taylor, Williamson, and Evans across the back. Salem, Lloyd, and Vicky in the midfield. Sonia, Wambach, and Adriana up front. Free kick forward by Brittany Taylor. Header won by Krieger, who, if you're just joining us, is playing center back today and has done an okay job partnering Tori Huster in the center of the park, but really it's been Abby Wambach and Carly Lloyd that have dictated things so far.
Yes, and for the Spirit, it does hurt putting Allie Krieger at center back because they do miss that attacking outside back. But now I think with Crystal Dunn moving there, we'll see that sort of play from her for these next 45 minutes.
Be interesting to see also when Mark Parsons makes his next 2 changes who they are, because not a lot of depth in the back. I think Jordan Angeli is probably your best candidate to maybe slide back there. So maybe if you bring Angeli in late, then maybe you move Krieger outside. You have Krieger and Dunn running up and down the flanks.
Dynamic duo on the flanks there for the back line if that were to happen.
Now Perez for Washington, dropping it back for Robin Gale. Averbush. Lindsay. Dunn wants it wide right. Instead, it comes back to Krieger first. She'll finish the job to her national teammate. Matheson making the hard run. That's something we said was missing in the first half. It'll come over the top for Matheson, but too far. And a goal kick for Western New York will come in the 48th minute.
I think Averbush showed pretty well in the first 45 minutes. The first couple games of the season, I want to say her confidence was probably down. It wasn't the best play that we could see from somebody of her caliber. But I definitely think she's had a good first 45 minutes here.
Dropped to the bench last week. Came on at the half, but didn't start for the first time in a Spirit uniform against FC Kansas City. Well, trying the back heel, and what an assist that would have been. But nobody home in white. Why not if you're Carly Lloyd? Everything else has gone well for you tonight.
Yes, it has. Certainly nobody was on the same page, though.
How's the winner as things stand now? That goal in the 30th minute unassisted, and just a lesson in perseverance to burst through a couple of Spirit defenders. Finally pick it up on the other side and finished at the last possible moment past Ashlyn Harris. Perez. Now Robin Gale. Averbush. Chip up for Nairn. Sets up the left foot to try the cross. Driving it towards the far post, and it's caught by Kelsey Weiss. Seems like the Spirit might have seen something on film. We've seen a lot of Nairn channeling left, some of Averbush channeling left, you know, trying to maybe find a hole in that Western New York defense.
But, I mean, it also comes from them just needing to be a little bit more creative going forward. Asking those center midfielders to make those runs is actually a very good thing. It shows a different kind of attack from the Spirit.
Adriana has her attack broken up by Robin Gale. A throw for the Flash, who are seeking their 3rd straight win. It's been one of those years where it's kind of tough to figure out how things sit in the table because Western New York's played 5 games. FC Kansas City, for instance, will play their 9th tomorrow.
Wow. And they had 9 in how many weeks was it? 9 games in how many weeks?
Probably about a month and a half, 6 weeks, yeah. course, there's the trade-off to that. You get to rest a little bit more in the summer.
Right.
Matheson. Wide and behind Allie Krieger, who's come all the way forward from her center back spot. Nairn trying the shot from deep, and Weiss had trouble with that one. And I think if Taylor had followed that shot, she would have had a tap in.
Yes. That's unfortunate for Taylor. Typically, she makes those runs. She does follow. That was kind of a little bit more of a routine pickup there. Weiss lost a little bit of grip. Once the sun starts to set here at the SoccerPlex, it'll get a little bit slippery, and the keepers are definitely going to have to focus on keeping their body behind the ball when they make these saves.
Area saw a lot of rain this week, but the pitch is in such great condition again. And also, this is the second game on this field today. As the Spirit Reserves opened up with a 4-1 win over Braddock Road. Second half sub, Ashley Cuba scoring 2 in the second half as we see the Nairn shot again. And, you know, I'm surprised Weiss spilled that rebound, and I think Jody Taylor was too, which is why she didn't follow the play. Carly Lloyd marauding again, up the middle, lays it off, and that pass off the mark as Huster picks it off. Matheson for Lindsay. Taylor. Averbush. Perez. And back again for Yael Averbush. Lindsay. Crystal Dunn into the attack now as it comes wide. Kept alive by the rookie out of UNC. Cutting inside now on her left foot. Trying the cross, and it gets through everybody, and nobody's making that run far post. Weiss will make sure it goes out for a goal kick.
Veronica Perez just kind of held her run a little bit at the top of the 18. She didn't even try to go for that ball. If they want to score, they got to definitely put a few more numbers in the box.
Especially when your backs are committing forward. You know, you want to reward their work by making that run and getting on the end of something. As we've seen Dunn come forward, we've seen Krieger come forward early in the first 6.5 minutes of this half. And it's been Averbush who's kind of tucked back and covered that and allowed those runs forward. And I think that's a good play from Mark Parsons. Probably something they discussed in the locker room about, you know, we need to get our backs forward. We need a little bit more width. Here's Krieger. Dunn. Playing it through, looking for Matheson, but Weiss off her line. And she'll scoop with Jody Taylor on the doorstep. Really, that fumble has been the only mistake really from Kelsey Weiss. She hasn't had a ton to do, but I think the rookie out of Florida State has had a nice second performance in her pro career.
She has done nicely in the first 52 minutes here.
Not going to get a shutout like she did in her pro debut against Sky Blue FC last week after the strike from Jody Taylor, but in position right now to get the win with her team leading 2-1.
Talking about pro debut, we were hoping for Dee Dee to be in the net for Western New York Flash.
Yeah, the former Spirit Reserve and DCI women player, an amateur player signed by the Western New York Flash with Lydia Williams, as we mentioned, on international duty with Australia. So she's the backup for Weiss. So certainly not wishing anything ill on Weiss, but would have been good to see Dee Dee playing on her old stomping grounds again.
Yes, it would have.
A goalkeeper that was in camp with the Spirit, you know, the senior team after graduating from Loyola of Maryland, but was released. And, you know, I think a good move by her as the ball comes through now, looking for Perez, chested down by Veronica in the box. The flag is up on Perez.
I definitely thought she was a step or two behind Williamson at that moment. As soon as the ball was released, you looked up and she was a couple steps beyond.
But Dee Dee was in camp with the Spirit and, you know, was expected to also feature with the reserves. But with Adelaide Gay already here, I think she made a good move to take the opportunity to play for Western New York, even if it's just for a few weeks.
Absolutely, why not? Go up there and get the experience and see what it's like to sit on the bench with a pro team rather than with the reserves. Why not?
Switch right. Here's Adriana going to work against Robin Gale. Chipping it left, looking for Wambach, and Krieger wins the header. Averbush now with some space. Goes left. Gets it back from Veronica Perez. Perez gets tangled up there and foul. And We talked earlier, Danielle, about how physical this game was early. It's calmed down a little bit.
It has. It certainly has. It was definitely feisty in the first 10 minutes or so.
Still haven't seen a booking either way in this game. Dunn. Nice touch from Perez, but Matheson didn't check her run, and it's cleared partially. Wambach gets ahead on it. Perez, active, playing it through now for Jody Taylor. The Englishwoman looking for her second. Has Matheson in the middle, sliding tackle from Kat Williamson. And a corner for the Spirit. I believe they're first of the game.
It has, yeah. That was a great run by Taylor. Anticipate that ball through. Unfortunately, she took a little bit too big of a touch there before she got a service off, but she ended up winning the corner kick.
Nairn will take it. And Western New York, we talked about their prowess on offensive corners. Good defensively as well. Kelsey Weiss is 5'10" in goal. You've got Wambach back. You've got Taylor back. So the Spirit will have to get a great ball here from Nairn to get on the board. Corner from Nairn towards the near post. Flicked on by Robin Gale and cleared off the line by Wambach. Second chance from Taylor is chipped high and wide. Abby Wambach has scored one today. She saved another just now.
Yeah, that Robin Gale did a great job of just kind of flicking the ball back and keeping it in play, trying to make something of a not well-struck corner kick.
So the Spirit, they get a kind of a freak goal off a corner kick in the first minute, the own goal by Barsic. And now there's an eye by Abby Wambach on the line. Salem switching it left. Header one down by Crystal Dunn. Now Matheson on the move. Tangle there with Carly Lloyd. Foul there and a warning to Carly Lloyd.
Seems as if that was a bit of a frustration foul there by Carly Lloyd.
It is only a warning. No booking shown by our center official today, Katya Koroleva. Telling Ali Krieger and Christine Nairn to wait for the whistle. Spirit have gone short on a couple set pieces. No sign of that here. Krieger's going to knock it in the mixer. Driven towards the penalty spot. Headed back by Wambach. Lindsay will keep it alive, and a smart play there to let it roll out for a corner rather than trying a low percentage cross there.
That certainly would have been hard for her to get off.
Spirit have had one good chance off a corner just a minute ago. We'll see if Christine Nairn can do it again on a service. Robin Gale again making that swirling run. Perez also moving around at the top of the 18. Driven ball in towards the near post, headed back by Adriana, kept alive by Jody Taylor, bounces in the box and finally clear. Now Matheson. Left for Nairn. Back for Matheson. Would have liked to see Nairn attack there with Adriana, who's an attacking player, marking her. Chip in, headed by Brittany Taylor. Houston was making the late run behind to try and get on the end of a flick. Nairn's cross comes in low towards Perez, cleared again by Brittany Taylor. And out for a throw. Good play here from the Spirit, trying to get an equalizer here in the 58th minute.
Certainly pushing hard here.
Taylor on the end line. Good throw-in play there to get her open. Early ball from Robin Gale, but nobody home as Matheson was making the late run. Sonia gets a volley in. Knocked forward now by Adriana. Won by Avery Bush for Washington. Now square for Krieger. Dummy there from Lindsay. Dunn loose on the right side. Has Matheson short. Dunn in the box now. Tries the right-footed shot. It's deflected by Edmonds, and off her line comes Weiss to make a good play.
I certainly have like the energy going forward for the last 4 or 5 minutes here from the Spirit.
And Western New York sensing this game starting to slip out of control. They've got McCall Zerboni warming up. Certainly a player that can stabilize that defensive midfield area.
Absolutely. She has been such a great player for the Flash. I am surprised not to see her out there already, but she certainly will make a difference.
She'll jog to the scores table. How about Matheson and McCall Zerboni being second half subs in this game? Not something that we expected going in.
We definitely don't see that all the time.
Well, we've talked about our prowess in predicting things. Where do you think Zerboni maybe slots into this team? Who comes out?
Salem's doing a good job. Maybe Vicky's done a great job. I don't know. It's a tough one.
I'm thinking one of the Spaniards.
Yes.
I'll hedge my bets and say one of the 3 Spaniards. Done. Matheson. Taylor. Matheson trying to cut inside on Edmonds. Playing it through now for Jody Taylor. Perez at the far post. Taylor in the box. Crosses it for Perez. Brings it down. Turns on her left foot. Has her shot blocked. Catherine Reynolds in to make the vital challenge. Play still alive for Matheson in the corner. And out for a throw.
With that play going forward, the Flash did a great job at recovering. There was only 2 or 3 players in the box when Jody Taylor spun out and received that ball on the backside. They did a very good job at getting numbers back and recovering.
We'll see McCall Zerboni now. And Vicky will step off, so maybe a sigh of relief from that Spirit backline. She has 2 goals and 2 assists against them in about 150 minutes, but she's out of this one. So I get a third of a point, I think, for predicting one of the Spaniards coming off. I won't give myself a full point. Averbush for Nairn. Certainly that changes the complexion of the side, too, because you figure Zerboni's going to sit in next to Salem and kind of be those 2 defensive midfielders in the middle.
Right. Well, the Flash have kind of found themselves on their heels the last 15 minutes or so. So that's definitely a smart move by Lines to put her in there to kind of stabilize the middle of the field. Matheson
playing it through. Taylor trying to get on the end of it. Cuts back now. Sets up the left foot. Cross towards the far post. Headed down. Perez was arriving late. She has had an impact on this game in the last few minutes, certainly against her old team. Was open on that far post. The pass off the mark. Now Krieger. Lindsay, broken up now. Wambach will start the counter. Carly Lloyd. Good tackle from Krieger. Now Lindsay for Dunn. Edmonds, McCall Zerboni with her first real touch on the ball. Brittany Taylor, short for Adriana. Whacked forward towards Wambach, headed down. Dunn wins it. Matheson trying to turn it. Evans does well to not allow her to do so, and she wins a throw. Matheson doesn't think so.
I certainly thought there was some sort of deflection, as did most people in the stand.
There were several deflections. The only question was who had the last one.
Right.
Linesman said it was Washington that got the last lick on that one. Huster. And now Krieger. Going direct. Too tall for Lindsay. Taylor saw that her run wasn't going to be able to be finished, and off her line is Weiss.
The play settled down the last 2 minutes or so. The first 15, the Spirit came out blazing. Kind of died down a little bit.
Done. Averbush slow to react to that one as Wood will step in and steal. Good ball to the right. Here's Catherine Reynolds cutting inside. Back to Taylor. Salem. And back again for Brittany Taylor.
That diagonal ball that Carly Lloyd just played, probably 60 yards. She was falling down, struck it well. That's just kind of a world-class play by a world-class player.
Kat Williamson joining the attack. Goes left. Here's Sonia. Good job there by Dunn to close quickly. Sonia goes down. Referee says no. We'll play on. And Lindsay will start the counter. Taylor wants it. They'll try and get it to her, but Taylor reading it very well, knocking it up for a throw. Brittany Taylor, somebody that hasn't gotten a lot of looks from the national team. I think that's something that will be in her future with Jill Ellis in the program now.
I hope so. She's had a solid game, and even the first time she came out here to the SoccerPlex, she had a great game, and she is so solid in the back line for the Flash.
I think she reads the game very well, but she's also athletically good enough that she can recover if something happens that goes wrong behind her.
Right. She's kind of got it all. She's got the size, the anticipation as a center back. It's very good.
Touched in by Averbush. Wambach will chest it down. Lay it off for Carly Lloyd. Try the return, but it's too far for Abby, and a throw for the Spirit. Crystal Dunn. Tackle from Lloyd, goes out for a throw-in.
Carly Lloyd just puts her hands up as if, what, me?
Well, I think she knows she's teetering on the edge of a yellow card right now if she fouls another player. Cleared by Edmonds. Knocked down by Krieger. Averbush. Dunn gets a foot in. Matheson will charge. Splits 3 players with a pass for Taylor. Now laid back for Nairn. Thought about the shot from deep. Still thinking about it. Goes back for Averbush. And she'll try the whack from deep, but that was always going wide.
She certainly, obviously, it went wide of the goal. It was a bit of a misstrike there by Yael Averbush. I would have liked to see her just continue to knock it a little bit. Those chances, 9 out of 10, probably not going to go in the back of the net.
Well, and I think to score from there, you have to be a little bit unpredictable.
Right.
And she had a couple touches that have set that up, and Kelsey Weiss knew it was coming the whole way. Carly Lloyd, who has the winner as things stand now, goes right. Here's Catherine Reynolds. Early cross towards the far post. Harris will let it go. Sonia keeping it alive for Western New York on the end line. Gets the cross off into the 6. Slid clear by Huster. Lindsay fighting with Salem. Dunn. Taylor posting up. Laying it back looking for Matheson, but there's Lloyd. Still running hard in the 67th minute, and she's fouled by Jody Taylor. I believe this is the longest we've seen Lori Lindsay go all year, but she still looks good.
Great minds think alike. I was just thinking the same thing. I think every single game she's been in, she's only played 45 minutes. So, and she's doing well. She's kind of covering everywhere on the field. She's doing a great job.
Free kick for Brittany Taylor and Western New York as they look for a insurance goal. Comes towards Wambach, but Houston marks that well. Flag is up on Adriana. And Wambach disagrees.
I'm guessing when Wambach got something on that little flick, that was where the offside was. Not on Wambach, but
on Adriana.
Yes.
We'll sort things out as there were briefly 2 balls in the field. Now we're back underway with just 1. Here's Krieger. Done. Crystal Dunn beats 1 on the left foot. Still going left. She'll try the shot and maybe hoping it would just hit some traffic as Taylor was in the area, but it goes clean through for a goal kick.
That was a great run by her, but I think by the time she made that run, she was a little bit tired. Not the best strike that we've seen from Crystal Dunn. The creativity needs to be a little bit better, I think, in and around the 18 for the Spirit at this moment.
We've talked about Dee playing against her old team, potentially Veronica Perez is. Speaking of old friends, Jasmine Spencer, just about to come in for Western New York. Former Spirit forward from last year, scored a great goal a couple weeks ago against FC Kansas City. And that's a move to, if the Spirit put numbers forward, you've got that speed to counter and get that 3rd goal.
Yeah, and with her size and speed, she does such a great job at drawing defenders and drawing fouls, quite honestly.
Matheson working hard, gets tangled up with Edmonds and draws the foul.
There was absolutely no play on the ball at that moment. Edmonds had no chance at it.
Well, and I think, too, I don't think either player gets to that ball anyway.
Right,
That's Matheson making something out of nothing and drawing a foul.
Right. It was certainly a silly foul. I don't think it was worth making.
So we'll see Spencer now for the final 21 minutes and change plus stoppage time. Sonia comes off, so 2 Spaniards out, just 1 left. 1 change left for Aaron Lyons. Mark Parsons still has 2. Perez trying to knock that one down for Taylor, but it's cleared instead by Brittany Taylor for Western New York. Here's Huster for Washington. Good decision there to turn up field, go up the line. Nairn helping it on to Robin Gale. Gale trying to beat the defender and does so. Gale in the box, laying it off, deflected towards Matheson. If that gets through, Queen Matheson has an open shot, but still a chance for Averbush. Her shot is blocked, and on the doorstep there's Jody Taylor. It goes off the crossbar and goes in. A brace on her birthday, and we're tied in the 70th minute.
And that all started from a nutmeg from Robin Gale. Like, I don't think we've ever seen that type of play out of Robin Gale. That was such a creative play there, and that was just so great for Jody Taylor to follow up with that finish.
And that's a situation where Jody Taylor just stayed with the play. He was in the right place.
She did. Yeah, and everybody kind of fell in on the ball, and she was in the right place at the right time to just put it away.
Here it is again. Gale, I'm sure that'll be the highlight reel for her career, beats the defender, senseless, crosses it in. It's deflected, and Matheson can't get a good foot on it. Good job there, I think, from Nairn to just kind of keep her composure. Actually, it was Averbush.
Yes,
and there was Taylor just barely ducking that one under the crossbar and in.
The touch that Averbush had to beat her defender was so clean. She got a decent strike. It had a deflection, and Jody Taylor is just at the right place at the right time.
Mark Parsons, I think, is trying to figure out how to make it Jody Taylor's birthday every day.
Yeah, exactly.
She wants the third. On the move now on the right side. Into the box. Cuts it back on the defender. Lays it off now. And right there on the 18 is Brittany Taylor.
The crowd is certainly back into this game.
They're going to call that an own goal.
What?
I don't know about that.
I guess because it hit off of Williamson's back. Was that Williamson or Zerboni?
Have to check that out after the game, but
I knew it was blonde.
Tough break for Jody Taylor, but I'm sure she's happy.
Yeah.
Her team's tied.
Either way, she made it happen.
So the Spirit have now scored 3 goals against Western New York. 2 of them have scored by Western New York players. 2 own goals, and a strike from Jody Taylor in between. 2-2 today. Robin Gale has been an unlucky attacking hero. Really should have scored about 10-15 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Had her header on a set piece cleared off the line by Abby Wambach.
And Western New York has certainly found themselves on their heels, I think, this whole second half. They really haven't created many great opportunities. Spirit have definitely controlled this half.
Perez. Taylor. Deflected. Dunn trying to keep it alive. Does so. Nairn. Gets it back from Lori Lindsay. Early ball in. Diving header and saved by Weiss off Veronica Perez. I think this has been the best match for a couple of Spirit players in a Spirit uniform. Perez,
yes.
certainly. I think Averbush has had her best match. Lindsay Gale, certainly. Lindsay, just because of lack of opportunity, I think has had her best match today.
Right.
Slid through now. Spencer is in. And a diving save from Ashlyn Harris to deny her former teammate.
That was a great read by Ashlyn Harris. Very quick off her line to deny Jasmine Spencer.
Well, and I'm sure she has a healthy respect for Jasmine Spencer's speed, so she knew she had to read that one well. Matheson charging forward, playing it through, looking again for the run of Taylor, but it's broken out this time by McCall Zerboni.
I'm wondering if anybody else saw, going back to the goal, if anybody else looked down at the sideline. Mark Parsons jumped on top of Lloyd when they scored.
Laid off now by Wambach. Salem denied by Harris as it's still loose and cleared by guess who? Robin Gale. So turnabout is fair play. Wambach has denied Gale, and now Gale has denied Wambach.
Yes. And maybe Robin Gale comes back from Canada with a little bit more confidence going in and playing at camp, getting a couple minutes in the game.
Lots of space for Lindsay off the layoff from Jody Taylor. Crosses it in low. Shot from Perez's block. Nairn crashing in, shoots high. And Nairn is a bit shaken up after the collision that led to that shot. Mark Parsons speaking to the 4th official right now.
Quite honestly, talking to the 4th official isn't going to get anything that you want. The call wasn't played, or sorry, the call was not made, so just kind of move on from it. Christine Nair was in the right place at the right time. Unfortunately, she got taken down, but, arguing with the 4th official is not going to help.
You have to have a high tolerance for abuse to be a 4th official,
yeah.
because all you do is just hear it and hear it and hear it, and there's really nothing you can do about it, as you said.
Exactly.
Nairn fouled
Now
late.
that's a call.
And Angela Salem will
Get a booking, for sure.
75th minute. First one of this game.
What was it, Salem that took Nairn out at the top of the 18? I thought it was Carly Lloyd that tangled up with Nairn on that last play.
I believe it was.
And she's already been warned.
Set piece now for Alec Krieger in the Spirit, looking for the go-ahead goal. They led early, gave up 2. Got one back on the own goal off the shot from Jody Taylor. Christine Nairn now for Matheson on the right side, on the edge of the box. Early cross in, headed out.
I hope the Spirit can put another ball in the back of the net because they certainly have controlled this second half. They truly do deserve to put something else in the back of the net.
It will be a corner for Christine Nairn, who, as we've talked about in past weeks, can hit it with either foot. Chooses the left this time. Towards the far post it goes. Late coming is Krieger. That shot is blocked. Averbush back for Dunn. Cross towards Robin Gale, and it comes through for Nairn. Nairn's cross driven in. Knocked down by a Flash player. Touched on now by Jasmine Spencer. She gets tangled up with Dunn. Will continue to play as Huster drops it for Matheson. Dunn through now. Edmonds clears it high for Western New York. Popped up by Krieger, looking for Perez. Looked like maybe a handball there. Certainly Taylor's hand was up, but we'll continue. Taylor stumbles and draws the foul on Veronica Perez, and she's a bit shaken up here in the 77th minute. This second half has been tremendous.
Oh, yes, it has certainly been exciting. Even like the last 15 minutes here has been very exciting. There was a little lull, I think, about 5-10 minutes in the middle. But then the Spirit have really turned it up again.
So put on your coaching hat for me. What's Aaron Lyons saying right now? What's Mark Parsons saying right now?
I don't know. I think that's a great question. Mark Parsons is just going to keep telling them, keep pushing. You know, we're right there. You have them on your heels. Aaron Lyons right now is saying, get out of these next 15 minutes or so.
Well, we talked about it really at the top of the broadcast that Western New York has been the hump that the Washington just can't get over. Only 1 tie, 4 losses against this team. This has been their best performance certainly out of the 6 against the Flash.
And you know what? And we talked about this before the game. This is the first game Carly Lloyd and Abby have played together.
Yes.
So, you know, this is a full squad here for the Flash. And the Spirit are doing a really good job. Yeah,
Sam Kerr and Lydia Williams with Australia. But otherwise, you've got all your Spaniards. You've got all your U.S. players. You've got all your Canadians. The injuries have started to pile up for the Spirit. Not quite as bad as last year, but Presley out for most of the year. Weimer out for the year. And Tiffany Weimer would be most welcome in this kind of situation to come in off the bench.
Absolutely. She's very much missed by the Spirit.
You've got Denisha Adams, too, as well as a possibility as a sub. Free kick now towards Averbush, headed towards the far post. Chance now, and on the doorstep, Jody Taylor does get her second. No conflict about that one at all. Spirit lead 3-2 in the 78th minute. The Flash get 2 to come back after an early goal. Now the Spirit get 2 to get the lead right back.
And that's something we haven't really seen from the Spirit in the past, is battling back to get themselves into a game. This has been a fantastic 45 minutes, well, soon to be 45 minutes for the Spirit squad. And Jody Taylor, again, right place, right time, perfectly slides it right in the back of the net.
Gail Averbush will get the assist. Just a great flick header, and Jody Taylor, I'm not sure she even touched that on the last touch. It was on the doorstep, and she just kind of made sure it went in. But
right. I first thought she whipped it. I didn't really see if she got a touch on it, but it bounced in the back of the net. That's all we can ask.
Wide it comes for Jasmine Spencer. Off the deflection, here's Matheson. Just a buzz and electricity around this stadium now as their team has taken the lead.
And I think the Flash have kind of dug themselves in a hole here. They're kind of playing, I personally think, for blood a little bit. The fouls have been pretty dangerous in and around their own 18.
Well, I mean, how many times has Abby Wambach touched the ball, period?
Yeah.
But certainly within 30, 40 yards of goal, I don't think she's touched it at all this half.
Yeah.
After a great first half from her and Lloyd, they've been rendered pretty anonymous by the Spirit, just attacking and attacking and forcing them to defend.
The ball is certainly bouncing for the Spirit at this moment in the game.
And we'll say it again. The Spirit have struggled to stay calm after scoring a goal and keep the other team on their heels. They're doing a nice job right now of just getting in passing lanes and making it difficult.
Yeah, what they're doing right now is they're just kind of keeping numbers in behind to settle the play down for the next couple of minutes and not allow Western New York to get back on the board.
Jody Taylor will get a strong warning here after committing a foul. Again, the Flash have one change left, and they'll wave the trainer on the field, trying to see who the injured player is. It's Brittany Taylor.
I did not see. They're definitely, their feet were tangled, but I'm not sure what they're saying about it.
And just reading body language, I think it's unlikely that Brittany Taylor will finish this one. Here's the goal again. Yeah, I don't think Jody Taylor even touched that at the near post.
She didn't.
Brittany Taylor.
Go ahead.
Back to the matter at hand. Brittany Taylor is going to continue.
Yes.
Now Jasmine Spencer, and the flag is up on her.
That goal was just persistence by Jody Taylor. She's right place, right time. She ran through it, just made sure it went into the back of the net.
Haley Palmer has shed the warm-ups on the Flash bench. She started and played well, went 90 in the first meeting between these two at outside back, but maybe just making sure that they can ride this out and Brittany Taylor's not seriously injured. But Taylor's going to continue for now. Jordan Angeli also getting ready to sub in for Washington. A couple bumps there, but no whistle, as the referee's been pretty consistent with letting this game be played.
Taylor is certainly going to let Jody Taylor know she's still in this game after their scuffles.
Lloyd goes down, but again, referee not buying it. Matheson up the line, deflected by Edmonds. Throw for the Spirit. Jordan Angeli will not quite come on yet. Gets a drink of water before going back to midfield. I would assume that means the Spirit are going to put her in for an attacking player. So since they're in the attacking end, they're going to hold that sub. Jody Taylor now. Wins another throw deep, and now they'll make the change. Both ways. Angeli coming on for Washington. Palmer for Western New York. Lori Lindsay with a round of applause for the fans here. Good performance from her. 82.5 minutes of solid play.
I think so. And we talked about it earlier in the game. Every game Lori Lindsay has started, they've won. And so far, if they play out these next, 10 minutes with stoppage time, kudos to her. She's done a great job in these 82 minutes.
Edmonds coming off for Palmer, so really a straight switch at outside back for Western New York. Shot just over the top. Veronica Perez wanted a deflection. Didn't get the call. Still pleading her case to the AR, and the Spirit also are yelling that on the bench that they should have had a corner. Averbush turning it over to Palmer. Now Spencer. Sliding it through, looking for Abby Wambach. Huster holding her ground. Clears it up the line. Step and win from Salem. And popped out by Dunn for a throw-in. Palmer, we saw in the first meeting between these two, gets forward a little bit more than Edmonds did, so that's the thinking from Aaron Lyons.
I'm sure he's going to just want to make an extra push here in the last 6 minutes.
Zerboni. Taylor. Driving it in. Wambach was open, but the ball didn't get to her as Dunn heads it down. Knocked down by Salem. Zerboni now again. Marked by Jordan Angeli. Switching it left, looking for Palmer. She'll go to work against Matheson. Matheson has the better position. Shields it, but turns it over now to Palmer. Palmer. Angela Salem, 85th minute. Spirit lead 3-2.
At this time, the Spirit just have to be smart in their own defensive end and not give away any silly.
Salem shoots right at Ashlyn Harris. That initial pass for Adriana was a good one, but was blocked.
Yes, it was. Back to what I was saying, they don't want to give away any silly fouls here in the last 5 minutes or so because Abby Wambach is such a great target on those set pieces. They don't want to try to let Western New York get back into this game.
As the Spirit try to put this game to bed, we remind you this portion of the match is brought to you by Hampton Inn and Suites, Washington, D.C., North Gaithersburg, the official hotel partner of the Washington Spirit for 2014. Angelique's sliding challenge in, and they'll blow the whistle for the foul that happened on the previous play. Free kick for the Flash in the 86th minute.
The play by Gail, she just jumped on top of Jasmine Spencer there. Jasmine Spencer's a little slow to get to her feet.
Brittany Taylor will take the free kick again for the Flash. Knocked in towards the far post, towards Carly Wood. Headed back towards the middle, towards Wambach, but cleared by the Spirit. Popped back in by Salem. Headed on by Adriana. And Ashlyn Harris will bring it down to her feet, kill a couple precious seconds. And now, Tori Huster down, clutching her face as she and Wambach had some incidental contact. Away with the trainer on the field. Certainly, that didn't happen in the play. It was after the fact.
No, it was well after the play. Ashlyn Harris had the ball at her feet, and Abby came to pressure her to force Ashlyn Harris to pick it up. But I did not see the contact.
Huster immediately clutched her face. Now she's, walking. I'm still trying to shake this one off, but
I think she's yelling at the official, I didn't ask for the trainer to come on. You're the one that whistled the trainer to come on, and now I have to step off the field right now.
In a big spot. Now you're missing a center back. And I believe we're going to have a drop ball here.
It was in Ashlyn Harris's hands.
Yeah. Here it is again. Never mind. We'll continue. Huster's been waved back on. So we're back to 11-11 as Harris punts it high into the evening sky in the 87th minute. Jody Taylor, who's scored 2 and created another on the own goal to bring the Spirit back into this game. Haley Palmer playing it forward, looking for Wambach. Huster will shield and let Harris come and collect. After the first meeting between these two teams, Mark Parsons criticized his team's effort and said that they kind of just let things happen. Here it is just a bump there, and Harris, as Harris was holding it, Huster went down. Didn't see an elbow to the face or anything there, just an incidental contact, and Huster just got hit in the wrong spot at the wrong time. Ball deflected, kept alive by Palmer. But Mark Parsons was talking after the first meeting about complacency and this team just kind of conceding the effort. They've come back with a vengeance after falling behind in this game to take the lead back 3-2.
Oh yeah, and you could see that. You could see that in the play last week against FC Kansas City. Wasn't the best performance by the Spirit, but tonight I think everyone's on board and everyone's 100% into winning this game.
Carly Wood wanted a foul there as she was bumped by Nairn on the way through, but no call, and now Jody Taylor is loose again. Going to work against Williamson. She'll take it to the corner and waste some precious time. Cut out by Palmer, cleared up the line. And a smart play there by Crystal Dunn to let it roll out for a throw-in and waste more time in the 89th minute. Renee Cuellar getting instructions from Mark Parsons, so a time-killing sub perhaps for the Spirit in the 89th minute. Angeli pops it up high. Followed forward again. Nairn. Angeli back again for Christine Nairn. Ship left and nobody home, but that's not the worst result,
No.
honestly, to give away a throw in there.
Yeah. Just need to be patient here the next couple of minutes. I would say probably, 2 minutes, maybe?
I was just going to say, after what we saw the first half, we got about 20 seconds of stoppage time and a half that had 3 goals and an injury. We might only see a minute or two.
Yeah.
I think that works against Western New York the way this game was clocked in the first half. Lloyd takes a bump there from Angeli, and they'll play on. Carly Lloyd can't believe it. Taylor for Crystal Dunn, who has lots of time and space. She'll attack the goal rather than going to the corner. Dunn cutting back. It's broken up by McCall Zerboni. Cleared out for a throw-in. We'll see Cuellar now in the waning stages of this one.
You see Abby Wambach out there. Can we speed this up a little bit? She's taking her sweet time to get off the field.
Veronica Perez will be the player of the mixed way, so Mexican for Mexican as we move to the stroke of 90. Good match from Perez.
Yeah, absolutely. She had a solid match. She was kind of buzzing all over the place. She was never really in one position. She was on the right, she was on the left, she was dropping in help defending. She did a very good job tonight.
Matheson trying to keep it alive. Cuts it back for Cuellar. Deflected. Headed by Cuellar again towards Angeli. Slid away. Shot now from Taylor is deflected. And Weiss will make the catch to keep it in play. We're into stoppage time now. I believe the signal was 3 minutes. Fourth official still fiddling with the board. We're going to have 5 minutes of stoppage time.
Well, I guess there's been 4 substitutions, 2 goals. A lot different than the first half, though.
Couple of injuries. But yeah, not much more than what happened in the first half.
Right.
But plenty of time for Western New York, certainly, to try and get an equalizer. Taylor trying to knock it forward. Wins a throw in. Again, Robin Gale will take her time.
I think Diana Matheson has had a great 45 minutes in the second half. She's definitely maybe the spark the team needed going into this last 45 minutes.
Chip now for Cuellar, who's done well in her cameo appearance, but offside this time.
Cuellar did a great job to lay it off and spun out to try to get the ball behind, was just a little bit behind the back line.
Brittany Taylor letting everybody get forward before she hits this one. Towards Wambach, it floats. Gets through everybody. That's actually she and Spencer rising for it, the tallest and smallest player on the field. Lloyd battling there and wins a corner off the deflection. Allie Krieger says, no way.
It seems as if the FAR assistant ref is calling that, and that ref is nowhere near to make that call.
Carly Lloyd in Western New York trying to make the Spirit pay. We have another ball on the field, and that'll delay things more. Matheson said, oh, you want me to kick this off? Sure, I'll take my time.
Gamesmanship.
Lloyd goes short. Adriana laying it back again for Carly Lloyd. Cuts back now on her left foot. Lloyd driving in, hard save, second chance, and just wide. As Kat Williamson had the equalizing goal on her foot and could not finish.
That's just unfortunate for her. Ashton Harris came up big. That's the second time she just had to make a point-blank save and just knock it down. She was unable to catch it because of the power that was coming behind that ball.
The crazy thing was with that Lloyd shot, it was deflected too, and it still was a rocket.
Right. But Ashton Harris did a great job at continuing to track it and just knocked it down. The Spirit needed to do a better job at trying to win that second ball and not allowing that shot to get off.
What a game this has been. Is there another twist still in the plot?
Right.
Goes out for a throw-in for Washington.
For the Spirit's sake. I hope not.
Crystal Dunn will take her time. There was an over Cuellar. Now Williamson. Chipping it forward. Header won by Yael Averbush, who has the assist on the winner as things stand now. Cuellar fighting hard, winning the ball, working towards the corner. Great work here from Cuellar and a hard tackle. Spirit bench immediately up in arms. A yellow card will be shown to Angela Salem, who also was injured on that play.
Which is a red because she got her first yellow earlier.
You're right. So they'll wait for Salem to get back up, but she's clearly injured on this play. And there's the red. So if Western New York has a equalizing goal in their bag, it'll have to come with 10 on the field.
That's kind of a silly foul on Salem's part there because Cuellar was 1v3. She really probably wasn't going to have a chance. She did a great job to get on the ball and was taking it to the corner. But now it's a set piece in the last minute of stoppage time, and they're down a player. And she's out for the next game.
Spirit have literally nobody forward for this free kick. They're just going to play it to the corner and let Cuellar work. Another throw for Washington as we're deep into the 5 minutes of stoppage time. Thrown towards the corner by Nairn. Cuellar. Cleared away, kept alive by Nairn. She'll chip it towards Cuellar, and she's offside in the corner.
Go figure.
Free kick for Western New York. Just got to hit and hope this time if you're the Flash. And of course, when you have Abby Wallenbach, that's not the worst play in the world.
Oh, no.
Angelique comes crashing in. Zerboni shaking up as we'll continue. Ball played forward, hopefully, and Harris will let it roll. Finally take a touch in the 18 and pick it up.
Earlier in the first half, I said I thought it was a pretty physical game, and it wasn't that bad, but there's definitely some chippy moments in the last 45.
Jody Taylor, on her birthday, gives a packed house at the Maryland SoccerPlex quite the present. She scores 2, creates a third on the own goal, and from a goal down, the Washington Spirit finally beat the Western New York Flash 3-2, Danielle Malagari.
Yes, I think the addition of Diana Matheson in the second half was great for the Spirit. She is such a spark plug in the field. She never stops. Same with Jody Taylor. She never stopped. She kept working, got the 3 goals on her birthday, and I think the Spirit walk away being incredibly happy about this win.
You start a 3-game homestand like this can be a season changer.
Oh,
you win
yes.
the next 2, you're over 500, you've got 15 points, you're probably in playoff position.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's still early on in the season, but at this moment last year, this was not even a question for the Spirit. They're competing in games. If they're losing, it's only by a goal or 2. If they're winning, you know, they didn't have 3 wins at this moment last year. So I think it's a great start to the beginning of the season for the Spirit.
Kind of the plot line for this team all year has been, when is the forward going to score? When is
Right.
the forward going to score? Jody Taylor entered this game. She'd only taken 2 shots on goal.
Right.
She scores 2 today, and obviously the own goal as well was a shot that she took.
Right. And a lot of times you say a forward takes it on their back and they want the responsibility to score the goals. When that happens, they get that first goal, you typically say the floodgates are open. Let's see what they can do.
Ashlyn Harris giving Jody Taylor a lift there because Taylor gave this team a lift today. Great performance. I think when we talked about it earlier, a lot of people stepped up today.
Oh,
Perez
yes.
had a great game. Averbush had her best game in this uniform. Taylor certainly did. Ashlyn Harris made some big saves. So we go through the highlights. There's one right there from Ashlyn Harris. And then a shot off the post. We saw a shot off the post, shot off the crossbar. Williamson's chance late, which I'm sure we'll see, was just wide. You know, Western New York could have easily been up 2 goals at the half, the way this game is played. Punch from Harris. I mean, she kept this team in the game early.
Yes, she did. And she's done that in these first couple of games.
Spirit, though, struck first as Lori Lindsay with the ball over the top. Jody Taylor scoring her first and not the last. We'll see Jody Taylor on this highlight reel, I'm sure. But a big boost to take the lead, I think. Something the Spirit had never done against Western New York, but it was short-lived. Shot off the bar, cleared, and then a set piece from Western New York proved to be decisive. Nice driven ball, headed by Wambach. Harris, no chance on that one.
No. Nothing she
Huster
could
had
have
her,
done.
and Huster had her well marked too. It's just Wambach was in the right place and did what she does. Carly Lloyd, who had a great first half and, you know, didn't see as much of the ball in the second half, gave the Flash the lead there. And they had to be feeling good. Had the control of play, had a 2-1 lead, but Matheson comes on. Things get a little bit more chippy. A corner and a great chance from Robin Gale that Wambach denied. And Allie Krieger was very close to getting her second goal in as many weeks.
Right.
As she was right there and just kind of went behind her. Shot was initially blocked there from the Spirit, and Play was kept alive by Lori Lindsay, worked wide. Matheson just a great hustle play to keep that one alive, and then really turned something into nothing. But I thought Western New York did a nice job in the attacking when they got their chances of creating something.
They certainly did.
That Nairn Avery Bush combo, I think, worked as well as it has all year, and even that hopeful shot, at least it keeps Western New York honest.
And they were on their heels for pretty much all of the second half.
I feel like every foul we're seeing against Montage, Carly Lindsay was fouling somebody or being fouled.
Right.
But then Angela Salem, a late tackle there, and Christine Nairn, she gets her first yellow. Jasmine Spencer came on, and Harris read that very well. Weiss made a good save. But then it was Robin Gale just making something happen. Cross came in, was deflected, cleared initially. Avery Bush with a really good touch, put it back in the mixer off the deflection. And what happened was the ball came off the bar, off of Williamson, and went in.
And that's where the own goal comes from.
That was the play where Huster and Wambach got tangled up. Looked like really nothing out there. I mean, it wasn't anything malicious from Abby.
No, I didn't think so.
Physical play continuing for Matheson and Lloyd, but referee let a lot of things go tonight. I thought that Jody Taylor, you know, just doing something like that and just doing the work.
And she's done that for 90 minutes, pretty much every single game that she's played 90 minutes for the Spirit.
And if you work hard, you hope you get rewarded. And there she did it right
today.
Nice celebration there from the Spirit bench. Cuellar came on in stoppage time and really was a factor. You know, held the ball well, drew the second yellow there on Angela Salem and sent her off. And, you know, I think she made her best case for playing time this year.
Oh, yeah. I think she did a great job and added a little bit of a boost in the last, I guess, 8 minutes or so that she played.
For Western New York, a 2-game winning streak comes to an abrupt end as they really had this game under control at the half, certainly, but then Washington took it back from them.
Right. And this is a game that you have to say, play first whistle to last whistle. You know, it's never over. If you're up 2-1 at the half, it's not over. They didn't do enough to put anything on frame that was incredibly challenging for Ashlyn Harris in the second half. Maybe the one strike from Carly Lloyd in the last couple of minutes. But that was about it. That was their best opportunity in the second half.
So we'll give you the scoring one more time. There's a lot to talk about. Jody Taylor scores in the 11th minute. That was clear. No own goal there. Good pass from Wenzy. Wambach just 7 minutes later. Great cross from Vicky. Lofted in from that left side. Wambach wins the header over Huster. Puts it past Ashlyn Harris. 12 minutes later in the 30th minute, it was Carly Lloyd scoring unassisted. 2-1 at the half. Western New York leads. Spirit came out, created some good chances. But sometimes we've seen that and it doesn't amount to anything. And then the game goes back the other way. And really never did tonight. Last few minutes, Western New York got a flurry and got some late chances.
Right.
Certainly Kat Williamson had a great one off the hard shot and the rebound from Carly Lloyd's shot. But really, you look at that second half, and I'm curious to see the final stats. The Spirit played a good second half.
Yeah, they were on their toes, and they came out blazing from the locker room, and I think it had a lot to do with Diana Matheson being put into the middle of the field.
The own goal from Taylor, shot, tied it in the 70th minute, hit the crossbar, came back off the defender. Just bad luck there for Western New York. And then 8 minutes later, Avery Bush getting forward, playing a good ball. Jody Taylor finishes, and again, it'd be interesting to talk to her after the game and see if she actually did touch it there at the near post. Or whether that first touch was enough to get her over the line. But
and we said after the first game that they played against Western New York Flash, Mark Parsons was concerned about the effort. There's no questions about it tonight. They were in it 110%.
I think the last two home games have said a lot about what the Spirit can do. Fighting with Seattle, losing, yes, but fighting with Seattle. And then you play, you know, the team that was the regular season champion last year, a finalist last year, and you come back to beat them.
Right. This was just a fantastic 90 minutes from the Spirit all the way around. They never gave up and ended up putting 3 points on the board.
Final thoughts from this one?
Great work rate. You know, everybody was on board. The fans here tonight brought the team back into it. I thought it was great. It was just a great all-around performance from everybody.
Well, if you like us, you're going to hear a lot of us the next week or so. We'll be back here Wednesday, Spirit against Sky Blue FC, and then Memorial Day of the Houston Dash come to town. So this 3-game homestand could be pivotal when we look back at the story of this season. For Western New York, it doesn't get any easier at Portland.
Oh, yeah. That's a tough travel schedule for them.
So once again, the final score, the Washington Spirit 3, the Western New York Flash 2. Spirit moved to 3-4-0 on the season. They're on 9 points in 6th place for now. Western New York falls to 3-2-1. They're in a three-way tie right now with FC Kansas City and Chicago for 3rd on 10 points. But you've got 2 matches tomorrow. That could easily shift. But I think the Spirit have begun that climb towards a playoff spot with a big one today.
They're certainly going to gain a lot of confidence from this, which is good in these next 2 home games. It was a huge win for the Spirit tonight.
So for Daniel Margari, I'm Michael Minnick. We'll see you Wednesday at the Maryland SoccerPlex. Enjoy the rest of your evening.